Hello!
Hello! Hello!
Well then guys, welcome to episode 164. And then for this video, we're fishing 2 nights on the Bluebell Lakes complex. And you're doing 3 though, aren't you, Lee?
I am, yeah.
And we're on Sandmartin. I don't think we'd planned to be on this lake, had we? But it's the complex is very busy at the moment, so it was a case of having to fit in where we could. I've only just not long got the rods out because I got here after everyone else.
You've probably still been here about 4 hours, Chris.
Yeah, we're not meant to say that bit.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, we are fishing. We'll go into what everyone's doing tomorrow because it's early evening now and we're about to light the barbecue. So there's not much else to say really, apart from let's go fishing.
Let's go fishing. Let's get pissed.
Well, good morning guys. And as you've just seen, it's a rather misty morning on the lake. Must have been a cold night because when we first woke up this morning everything was absolutely frozen. Obviously from the lack of nighttime footage nothing happened in the night, but none of us are going to wind in our rods just yet because Simon was on here a couple of months back and had an absolutely banging session, and he said no nighttime bites on here was expected. It was all early morning and up to about 11 o'clock just before lunch the bites come when he was on here before, so none of us are going to touch our rods to at least lunchtime because it's still bite time now basically, and then come lunchtime we can wind our rods in, rebait, you know, refresh our hook baits, all that malarkey. Well, it is a little bit warmer now, the sun's come up, but God, it was definitely fresh when we woke up this morning. Right then, hopefully something can happen in the next few hours. Otherwise we'll probably be waiting to tomorrow morning before something happens. But you never know, the unexpected always can happen. Yeah, Simon's just looking for some new spots to fish. As we're all fishing quite close in at the moment, 10, 11 and a half wraps out. And I think it's got to that time of year now where it's probably just a bit too close in, because just after that it drops off into a lot deeper water. And I think, based on some local advice, we really need to be out in that deeper water now. So Simon is just doing that, just having a lead around in that deeper water. Got the old fox grappling marker lead on, so if there's anything out there you'll know about it, because it just picks anything and everything up off the lake bed. Still a bit of weed out there.
Little bit.
We've only just hit autumn, so you know the waters are still a bit weedy. the temperatures haven't dropped off that much yet for everything to start dying off just yet, so the summer weed and everything, it's still there.
Saw the drop then.
Clean as a bell, that is.
How do you know bells are clean?
Oh, because I know a lot of bell ends.
What about a rusty bell? Is that clean?
That's a good point. Why do people say clean as a bell? Where did that saying come from?
One of life's mysteries, mate.
You've just seen me have a bit of a chuck at with the marker lead. Got one of the old Fox grapplers. You've seen it before in past blogs, but on the advice of a local, he said now's the time of year to be fishing out further on this lake, not the 11.5 wraps that we were. So he suggested to Simon go 18. Simon is fishing 18. Lee is doing 16, and I've gone in the middle 17. So we're all staggering our ranges just to so we're not all fishing exactly the same. Just that way, I feel it gives us more chance at finding the fish out if you're all fishing a slightly different range. But as you just saw, the lead come back, even with the grappler, really clean. So that is going to be my spot. If you can see the big trees in the distance, that is going to be my markers, the pointy conifer, the round conifer, and the big round tree. But I'm going to get my rods clipped up. I need to go and have a shower before I do anything else, so I'm going to go and have a shower and then get the rods out when I come back. But I'm happy with them spots. It's nice and clear. The only thing that's given us a bit of issue is a bit of floating weed in the kind of the marginal areas for line lay. But apart from that, there's no other issues. I'll get some bait out as well later on. Right, time to go and have a shower because I'm not smelling the best. I probably smell worse than the little bit of weed I did bring in.
Swans.
Right then guys, so as you've just seen, all three rods are back out now. It is now early evening time, so since I wound in earlier on when I went to go and use a shower etc, I haven't been fishing, so I'll look at that as resting the swim. Obviously you've seen already I've put some bait out. I did that a couple of hours ago, so basically the fish have had a bit of free rein to come in, have a feed, scope the area out with no lines, and hopefully get their confidence up if there is any fish in my area. I only had to do one small change. I had to lift the front buzz bar higher, bring the rod tips out of the water because there's so much of that candy flossy kind of cotton wool type weed in the margins. Just wasn't being able to sink the lines or get any kind of decent line lay, and it was all clagging around the rod tip, so I've brought the rod tips out of the water now just so that the line in the margins is sitting on top of that weed, not being sunk right into it. I've also made the lines a lot slacker so it will kind of like neatly kind of just sit on it without hopefully sinking too much into that horrible claggy weed. But yeah, we're fishing now. As I said, what I was going to do earlier on, further out as well, if you noticed that, we're now at 17 wraps. Still on the same rigs, stiff hinge rigs, tutti frutti pop-ups. So yeah, all three casts went out first time on the money, so I was happy with that. But yeah, so I've done all I can do. The rest is in the hands of the fishing gods now. Right then guys, we haven't seen him in the video yet because he's been round the corner from us, so but here's Mark with a nice fish.
£28, 6. Caught on the Tutti Frutti, my favourite. Good scrap. Very nice. Thank you very much.
Nice one, mate.
Do you want the other side?
You can have a look at the other side if we
Quick
like.
look at the other side.
Yeah, unfortunately with the complex being so busy we couldn't all get together, so Mark's just a few pegs round the corner and
Caught from the centre of the lake.
very nice, mate. Fishing on the same bait I am at the moment.
There you go.
So it gives me a bit of hope yet. What you doing? What's happened?
Just lost one, didn't I? Gutted, but there you go.
Tell the mighty world of YouTube all about it. Give us a blow by blow account.
Blow by blow, weren't really that exciting. I left that rod went, I hit it, and it went over my middle rod then. So I took the bail arm off and was bringing it in nicely, but it come off. But obviously it whopped up my middle rod as well, so hence why there's two rods against here and not one. So let's check it back out. Go for it again.
Guys, obviously by the lack of footage of anyone doing anything on this last day, it's been a bit quiet. We're putting that down to the moody weather really, I think, because it's been sort of warm days and cold nights and high air pressure, and from what we can understand by people who've been walking around, the whole complex has been really dead. Someone was walking around earlier on looking for a swim, and they said from what they heard only 5 fish on mallard was caught the whole of last night, which is really slow. So it definitely seems to be weather conditions that's making things slow at the moment. Luckily Mark has saved the blog by putting a fish in the blog. He's gone now. I'm actually mostly packed up. I'm only staying for another hour or two before I go myself. But yeah, no, apart from when Lee had that run earlier on and nothing happened, no one's done any recasting. Myself and Simon haven't recast our rods this morning or anything, because we thought recasting just for the sake of recasting might do you swim more harm than good. So we've just kind of left our swims alone, kind of keep the disturbance to a minimum, and sort of basically trying that tactic. Obviously that's not even working at the moment, but you know, we're trying everything, so it just seems like it's just being a bit of moody fishing conditions at the moment. Not long for me to go yet. Lee is actually doing another night, so no, so there's time for Lee yet. But I'm only going to say do about another hour before I pack up for good. So as I said earlier on, Lee is doing another night, so Lee's just putting out a bit of bait for his third night.
Third and final night. a donk, silty. So
I'm for the donk all weekend. Donkless.
As you've just seen, Lee's trying a new spot for his third and final night.
and the reason that is because of that platform over there. I just saw.
The one I was just on filming you baiting up.
I just saw two big fish, man. So
Right then, well, got to try summer, haven't you? Because
yeah, alright. Still got till tomorrow morning when you'll
well,
be up.
you have.
Well, you won't be at work, will you?
No.
Because you don't start till late.
Yep.
And you really don't work for a living, do you, Chris? Let's be
No.
honest. You just turn up.
Easy money, innit? Old money for old rope.
It is. A bit like your fishing gear.
Alright guys, unfortunately me and Simon have come to the end of our session. We're all packed up, we're about to leave any second.
Good. Hurry up. Not you, Simon, Chris.
As I've already said, Lee's doing another night. I mean, he probably needs it to try and catch fish these days.
Oh, and you've done superb on this session, Chris, haven't you? Yeah, really showed us the way. What did you catch?
Nothing.
What did you catch?
I caught nothing.
What did he catch, Simon?
Nothing.
I caught nothing.
Didn't he catch nothing?
You caught a bream. Bream king.
Yeah.
Anyway guys, right, I'll be meeting up with these two reprobates again in 4 weeks time when we're going to be back for Lee's 50th birthday social.
I'm not 50, for God's sake. You two are old, just remember that. I'm younger.
But my next session will be in 2 weeks time when I'm going to be on Limbrook Fishery with Keith and Ginge. But yeah, good luck for the rest of your session, mate.
Thank you very much.
If Lee does catch anything, I'll pop some photos up after this little bit.
Oh, I wouldn't hold your breath, guys.
Right, till next time guys, tight lines.
Tight lines.
Go fishing.
Let's go fishing.
Go fishing.
Let's go fishing.
Go fishing.
Let's go fishing.
Go fishing.
Let's go fishing. Fishing. Let's get pissed.